Yo, what's up guys, I'm Yannick from the Producer School and today I'm going to show you how to make a hard house and trancey remix of a song in a style similar to Marlon Hofstad, Kiki, Mishlouf and many more, which will sound something like this.
I wanna hold them like they do in Texas, please. Fold them, let them hit me, raise it, baby, stay with me.
I'm going to show you all the steps of the remixing process, like speeding up the track and fitting it right to the beat, adding your own sounds like drums, a bass line and synths, as well as mixing all the sounds together so it sounds like a cohesive track. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and with that being said, let's create a remix. The song that I will be remixing in this video is Poker Face from Lady Gaga. I know it's a bit corny, but I think it can work well in this type of music where it's also about like having fun and not taking things too seriously. So I think that we can turn Poker Face into a cool remix that's actually playable. Usually the first step of creating a remix is downloading the original song or stems if they are available. Luckily for this track I found the actual stems that were used in the video. So I just did a Google search and looked for the stems, and then there was this YouTube video which basically had all the stems of the track, which is really nice, so you can really play around with the stems and create our own version of it. But for most tracks you don't have access to the original stems, so what you can do is using the stem extractor from FL Studio, and from there on you can extract a few things like the drums, bass, instruments and vocals, and from there on you can really build your own remix out of it. Over here in the project I got this full stem file which has the vocals, bass and drums and everything in it. What you want to do is to find the BPM of the original track. You can do that by just doing a Google search, or you can just use tempo detection tool in FL Studio. So if you left click the sample and then hit detect tempo, you can really easily detect the tempo of the track, which we'll do it right now. And FL Studio detected the tempo of 119 BPM. So let's set the tempo of the project to that as well. And now let's click the sample again and we go to the stretch mode and we set it to stretch. And now we can easily speed up or slow down the track. Since we're making a kind of hard house, hard trance remix, I'm going to put it to 145 BPM, which is quite a lot, but it works well for those tracks. And now the sample is sped up. And from there on we can start creating the actual remix. I cut out a part of the vocal from the stem file that I want to work with, which sounds like this.
I wanna hold them like they do.
And now is the trick to put it right on the beat so we can build the remix around that. So let's hit the metronome and see if it's already great on the beat.
I wanna hold them like they do.
It's off, so let's start moving it.
I wanna hold them like they do in Texas, please. Fold them, let them
That's perfect. So let's put it right here and let's copy this once again.
I wanna hold them like they do in Texas.
Now let's add a kick drum to get a groove going. I'm going to be using this kick drum from our Ignite pack, which is, by the way, a producer pack including samples, presets, vocals, project files and so much more. And it's perfect for trance and hard house and speed garage. So if you want to find more information about it, get all these sounds that I'm using in the video, then use the link in the description to get it there. So let's drag in this kick right here. Maybe let's shorten it a bit because I think it's a bit too long. So we have a little bit more space for the bass. Copy it a few times over. Lower down the volume because it's way too loud.
I wanna hold them like they do in Texas, please. Fold them, let them hit me. I wanna hold them like they do in Texas, please.
And let's put it right here. Now let's add a bass line, and to really keep that hard trance, hard house groove, I'm going to be using a rolling bass line with this Serum preset called Bass Importance. Nice and plucky bass sound that's perfect for those rolling basses. I know for a fact that the song is in G sharp. So we can put it on the root note of the track like this. Create a very simple offbeat rolling pattern, which you can hear in all of those hard trance tracks. Put it like this, and then we have a nice rolling pattern. Put it together with the kick right here. Let's add some more drums to get a groove going, like this top loop, which can really spark some ideas. Then let's add an open head, also from our Ignite pack, just on every offbeat. And this really helps to get that accent on that offbeat right there. Then let's also add a clap Let's put the bass in a mixer channel so we can level it a little bit better. Add a little bit more OTT. There's already quite a lot on the bass line, but a bit more so it sounds even more compressed. I want to add a breakbeat loop underneath it to add some more energy. And we have a great selection of different breakbeats in the Ignite pack. This one maybe. And let's also add a bit of texture or like ambience. From vinyl noise to a bit more old school touch. This noise. Alright, let's add a bit of reverb and delay and maybe some distortion to the vocal. It's a bit too dry, I think, right now.
I wanna hold them like they do in Texas, please. Fold them, let them hit me, raise it, baby, stay with me.
And then an EQ to remove some frequencies. Alright, so.
I wanna hold them like they do in Texas, please.
A bit of delay with Fruity Delay 3.
I wanna hold them like they do in Texas, please. Fold them, let them hit me, raise.
Just a little bit, so we keep like a pretty dry signal. Same goes for the reverb, also just a really short one, the low wet level.
I wanna hold them like they do in Texas, please. Fold them, let them hit me, raise it, baby, stay with me. I wanna hold them like they do in Texas, please. Fold them, let them hit me, raise it, baby, stay with me.
That's great. Let's look a bit further so we can get an idea of how this remix can be arranged. I think I want to start with a very dry drop without that much things going on. So basically the drums and the vocal, maybe a few drums, but
I wanna hold them like they
this already hits quite hard. So let's move up the drums to like here, the bass line, as well as like the ambient sounds a few times.
I wanna hold them like they do in Texas, please.
That's cool, copy it. And then start with, I think, just the open head and maybe the top loop. And then in the second part, we can introduce like the breakbeat and the claps for more energy. Cool. Let's do it like this. Remove the kick here. And then copy this a few times. Continue playing here. Perfect. Put this right here.
I wanna hold them like they do in Texas, please.
Let's see, this vocal continues here with. And there's place for a lead here. One sound that I really like in the original track is this lead sound that plays in the beginning of the song. It's a very recognizable sound and it sounds like this. And I want to use this in the drop, maybe apply a few effects on there so it sounds a bit more like a cohesive thing. And I think I want to introduce this in this second part over here. So this lead really comes through and it's a sound that people really recognize. Let's put this in a mixer channel right here and add a bit of EQ. Boost a bit of the high end. Maybe add a bit of bit crusher to this with Destructor, so the high end gets a bit more crunchy. Nice. And a little bit of reverb, very short one. Maybe a bit of kickstart for some side chaining. See how that sounds. Alright, I also want to add the kind of ma backing vocals that the track has. These ones exactly. Yeah, how that sounds. Pretty cool. Let's make a unique copy of this. You can add some other effects on there. Let's put an EQ on it and just add a radio filter. Maybe some extra delay. It's a bit more spacey. I think that the first part of the drop is pretty solid already. In this second part, where really kind of the vocal opens up or it plays the actual like chorus melody, the bass notes need to be changed because right now it's just staying on the root note and that really doesn't fit exactly with the vocal. So what I'm going to do is that I'm just gonna follow the bass notes of the vocal, which are G sharp, then I think E, then B, then F sharp. So it's a very simple pattern. Put that right here, put it to B, and then this one to F sharp. Do down.
Can't read my, no, we can't read my poker face.
Perfect. So it gets a bit more melodic there. And I also found the stems in this whole file of like the strings or the pad sound, which is really cool. Quality is not that good because I really sped it up, but it sounds like this. And as you can hear, it really sounds stretched, but it doesn't really matter because I'm gonna put a trance gate effect on it, which I'm going to do with Grossbeat FL Studio plugin, and I'm just gonna use the preset called Trance Gate 1. You instantly get a trance sound, which I think works well. Let's make this vocal a bit less loud in this part and copy this here. And a kickstart. To complement this lead sound that we took from the stems, I want to add another sound which is created with an instance of Serum. Is this synth called Controlling, also from our Ignite pack. And I'm just gonna play the same melody of that sound of the original lead, but with this sound. So that will be something like one higher. That's cool. And then it goes up. And yeah, this basically helps with adding a bit more energy to that original lead because the quality is not that high. And then maybe we can also continue it right here. That doesn't really fit, but we can just use the bass pattern maybe, like this. Wait. And put it up 7 semitones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then we have a perfect fifth. Good work. So it almost creates like a chord. It's a bit more energy to these pads as well. There's a subtle difference. And one more synth sound that I want to add is this acid plug or bass sound, which is also a Serum preset. And I just wanted a very simple pattern on the root note. Something like this could already work. Put that right here.
I wanna hold 'em.
Let's add a bit of EQ to remove the low frequencies. Lower down the volume. And maybe a delay so it spaces out a bit more. It's cool. To finish off the drop, I'm going to add a few effects like downlifters, sweeps and like crashes. I'm gonna start with this simple 909 style crash. Let's add this rave loop as well to add a bit more energy to the drums. This one. Like this. And there's actually a part of the stems that I have right here, I think. So these are the open heads that are in the stems. Or like a ride, which can add a bit more energy in this last part. works well, I think. Then this siren sound, which creates a nice kind of tension. It's a bit corny, but I think it works. It's a bit less. Alright, I quickly added a bunch more effects, like some uplifters, very simple ones, like these. Put it on the right beat actually. And then this downlifter. And a few like drum fills to create a simple build-up, just to give you an idea of what like the drop and the build-up can sound like. Like a snare fill and a crash fill. Let's add a simple automation for the low end of the master. We can cut out the low end right here. And let's add a simple endless smile, just to also get a little bit more of a build-up idea. Let's do this right here. And let's do the master low end here as well. Alright, that's all for now for this hard house or trancey remix of the song. Here is the final result. I made this in like 30 minutes, so there's still quite some work to do, especially on the mixing and the arrangement part, but it's just to give you an idea of how easily it is to start ideas like these really quickly and build a remix from the ground up. Again, all the sounds that I used in this video come from our brand new producer pack called Ignite, which is perfect for those hard house and trance tracks. You can get your hands on it or find more information about it using the link in the description. There are more hard house and trance videos coming soon, so if you have any suggestions, then feel free to drop a comment and we will try to cover these things in another video. For now, I want to thank you guys so much for watching and I hope to see you in another video.